the primary and fundamental difference between somebody who is following Torah and somebody who's in churchanity. And it's a very simple one, realistically. And it's not that desire to obey that most people think about, because all these other people, they like the idea of obeying, they just don't know what to obey. The fundamental difference comes in as it pertains to the Bible. Is it a flexible structure, or is it set in stone? And our God says, I am God, I change not. So he says it doesn't change. In the United States, we have the Constitution. Now, the great thing about the Constitution as a law document is because it's flexible. You know, they interpret it different in each generation. And that's what we have with churchanity. They just say, okay, the most recent person is able to interpret it totally differently. So the Torah is here, but when the Messiah is here, he's able to change it, make it this. And then Paul comes, he's later, and he changes it again. And so we follow the most recent changes. Whereas those Torah observant are, no, this is correct. And everything else is just trying to help explain this. But this is the correct document. It doesn't change. It's not going to change. And that's really the difference in a real quick nutshell. I mean, you can't look at the Pharisees and say that they didn't have a desire to obey. It's just they didn't know what to obey. They had changed this document and said, okay, we moved it here. We still want to obey. But they had changed it. He says, don't change it. This is what it is. Don't do the practices of those in Egypt or in Canaan. Don't change this. They change. And so the churchanity says, well, Jesus came and he changed it, and then Paul came and changed it. God says, don't change this. And the Messiah says, I don't come to change it. You know, so again, the whole idea is I'm taking you back to Torah. And that's it.